give the call to the honourable member for Clark.
Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Education. Minister, the recent 650% increase in HECS-HELP indexation is an entirely unreasonable and indeed crippling impost on a great many Australians, especially coming as it does so soon after the previous government's reduction of the compulsory repayment threshold. Minister, education in this country was too expensive already. Will you urgently review the indexation rate and bring some soaring cost of living relief to the 2.9 million Australians lumbered with a HECS-HELP debt?
I call the Minister for Education.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Can I thank the member for Clark? I know, as many members of this House know, the power and the importance of education. I think the member for Clark knows that very well as do you, Mr Speaker. Congratulate you on your election. I also note the comments you made yesterday about the Parliament in Schools program and how important that is. I'm looking forward to working with you on that. In answer to the member for Clark's question, last year the indexation rate was 0.6. This year it's 3.9. That's calculated based on CPI over the last 2 years. The member for Clark mentions the cost of living, and in that regard it's important to remember that help payments are set as a set percentage of your income. In other words, they don't go up unless your salary does. That said, the issue of affordability is an important one, and it will be one of the things that will be looked at by the government as part of the Universities Accord process. It's important to make this point, Mr Speaker. When HECS was first introduced in 1989, less than 8% of Australians had a university degree. That percentage now stands at around about 33%. And HECS is largely responsible for that. Amongst younger Australians, that percentage is even higher. I think more than 43% of Australians now have a university degree, younger Australians. But that figure hides another fact, and that is the fact that kids from poorer families are less likely to go to preschool, less likely to finish high school, and less likely to get a university degree. And where you live also matters. My friends on both sides of the House who represent regional areas will know this. About 48% of young people in our major cities have a university degree, but that percentage in regional Australia is around about 20%. And for our Indigenous brothers and sisters, that percentage is even lower. Something like less than 10% of Indigenous Australians have a university degree. We've got to do something about that. I don't want us to be a country where your opportunities in life depend on your postcode, your parents, or the colour of your skin. And that's why this accord process is so important. Soon I'll be announcing a group of eminent Australians who will lead that work, and they'll look at everything from the sorts of things I'm talking about here, access for people from low socioeconomic backgrounds, from the regions, Indigenous Australians, but it'll also look at transparency, regulation, employment conditions, how our universities and TAFEs work together, and also this, the issue that you have raised, Member for Clark, the issue of affordability and the sorts of concerns that you've raised in your question.